bringing that up on the desk and talking about how the change of in-game leader and how that's going to potentially affect the AWPer. And Torshi had all the words to say about it. And he prefers going for more opening moves. He felt like he had too much responsibility, and looking at his teammates when he was back under Dexter's calling. And at least if we're going off of one game, which isn't a great display, he seems to be right at home here with Sui as his captain. So 50 for Torshi. And already a strong start to this map. NiP take a full eco, no bomb plant, and so it should be nice and clean for MOUZ.
Yeah, this is their chance to just make a bit of that money and have a nice clean one. Go on, Frozen, give us a clip. Yeah, it's looking good. Oh, Torshi can't share the limelight for even a moment, can he? Knocks out one, and so Frozen's ace is going to get robbed. He's going to get 4 out of 5 as well.
That counts. That'll do. The young veteran.
There's no ace.
It's not an ace, but no complaints. 5-0 Harry on Frozen. Close enough. But now we have the buy for NiP, and the questions of these T sides start to appear. Obviously, Hampus and Config never having played together before inside of this team, because the time that Hampus left 6 months ago was exactly when Config joined. So having these two very aggressive riflers, Hampus has already spoken about how he's enjoyed that. A lot of balls on NiP. Let's see them. Well,
yeah, let's see those balls all right. Frozen, he's already cut a pair off over towards outside. Hampus dead and out of the round now. Gonna have to lead this one from beyond the grave. NiP's first rifle round, not off to a good start here, but progressing with the smokes outside is Brolin. Frozen lies in wait. Everything is kind of tit for tat right now. Whenever NiP are trying to take this space, MOUZ are more than willing to meet them there. And so it's going to be back to the drawing board here, back into the lobby for NiP.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. They have nothing right now. No outside control. The fake downstairs got cleaned out by that spam, and Torshi has secrets. So NiP have a bunch of flashbangs and just the lobby. This is already cooked. There's almost no way in. They have to trade very efficiently. They have to get the entry on A. And that smoke, well, that will slow down the parade. 15 seconds taken out of NiP's T side as they have to wait for a kill. And you can see nothing's getting given over unless Zershin gets too curious towards the hut. He has the right gun for the job though. NiP group up behind the smoke at 40 seconds, ready to pop.
Yeah, and I think as time's passing, MOUZ are certainly getting worried, right? They hear these footsteps back in the lobby. They know there's sound here. They're guessing the intention of NiP, and so they've called for a bit of a rotate early. IMPACT's even taken a little bit of room
Frozen
over towards ramp, right? And now, yeah, Frozen's in the sight here as that third man. One out of Sui's MP9. And that's when the support looks to come through from top of the hut and back of the site. They'll mop it up. MOUZ with a clean round there on their bonus.
And that's the young veteran showing us why he is, falls under that name. What a great time to drop in for Frozen and find 3 kills at the back of the bomb site. He just stopped waiting for outside lurks from heaven. Knew at that point NiP were not making any moves. They were just waiting. And MOUZ did such a great job of confirming that by smoking the door, mollying the door, flashing the door. They kept on trapping NiP inside lobby, not letting them pop out what is really their best option in that round. So now the mostly Swedish side goes back to pistols and maybe can speed up the pace.
Yeah,
good
over
test
towards
for IMPACT as well.
Yeah. IMPACT's kind of got a free ride in these rounds so far. Hasn't really been tested over at ramp. So let's see if he's able to go toe-to-toe with NiP here, as they will just be flashing through on these pistols. He turns from it. That second one full blinds him. And so Config opens up. They're down the ramp now. And this B site looks tantalizing. MOUZ are reacting quickly, though. They know this is a low buy, so they're trying to get ahead of it. But in doing so, they fed the beast. And Shui nearly gets punished on this awkward timing. He will get out of the round with 2. But is that going to be enough for MOUZ to hold on?
It has to be. They're going to go for this. They've got money and they've got real estate. Frozen's already pushed down to Secret. And Brolin takes his head off. That might force Torshi out of the round. Very awkward for IMPACT, right? Even Cyclone talked in an interview with HLTV earlier about how he was feeling nerves, right? This is a very young player, 16 years of age. And, we saw that a couple of rounds up against the Mongols, but he still looked solid on ramp, all things considered. He didn't turn from the flash. He turned from the smoke.
Oh,
no,
that
was a corner smoke for hell. And he turns from it and then looks into the flash. That's awkward. Maybe some inexperience showing through, but you only get a second to think about what nade that is before you turn. And the whole of NiP just...
And, you can feel the ramp hit coming,
yeah,
and it's like you see that bit of util come through, you try to get ahead of it, and that's what betrayed him.
That is awkward, but that's the issue with a position like ramp. If you're putting your least experienced player there, you lose your opening kill on ramp on this map, and NiP drop in altogether. They are in a very comfortable position. You're going to be late rotating. They're definitely going to have a bomb plant. And so NiP, with only Tech-9s, come through with their first round.
Yeah, and I like the immediate timeout from MOUZ as well. They know that that's not a round that you can afford to let kind of slip through the net. If you want to be winning this game, if you want to maintain like a comfortable position in it, right? You really don't want to let the low econ freebies, a chance for you to really flex this lead and build up your money on the CT side. You don't want to let them just slip through. So they're going to try and cook up some solutions here. They don't want that to be the jumping off point for NiP in this first map.
Especially when you win your bonus rounds so convincingly against full AKs and you upgrade everyone, you're thinking, yeah, man, we're 4-0 for sure, and then you get broken by pistols. MOUZ don't get to celebrate too long. Aggressive ramp play. They'll set up Torshi with the impact in the corner. So Torshi's got some early position. He's going to look for a pick and a fallback.
Ooh, he is going to get pressured. First shot sails on by, but Torshi goes back in and at least trades that out. However, NiP could still look to move through this. That smoke blocks them and denies the progress out through ramps. So they get one, but it is traded by that AWP. However, now Torshi's kind of locked in here, right? He can't exactly have that freedom with the AWP that you might necessarily want from him here. He's got to dedicate to the ramp angle. And so for now, that AWP is kind of stuck in place. NiP can look to explore some other avenues now in the mid-round.
Yeah, great time to go outside with the full smokes. At the minute mark, though, they won't be going with this. It's all just a bit of a ruse, and Frozen's going to lose all his info outside, so anything could be going on. And you'll notice no one's in position to flash him in, to get any info. So MOUZ are in the dark right now. It's going to come down to Torshi once again as NiP group ramp after this fake.
Yeah, I think you're almost hoping that you've kind of got in Torshi's head, made him rotate a little bit, made him get out of position, but he hangs around with the AWP. He has to do this alone, does Torshi. There's a second kill for him. This AWP backs up, just going through the motions, but with each missed shot, NiP are getting closer.
No way.
He USPs one out of it before burning alive. It's enough time for his captain to look to move in and seal the deal. It's just Config left to beat.
20 seconds as well. He's got time to stick it. He doesn't know that, though. He thinks they're right around him. Is he really going to try and go up the vent? 10 seconds back to B. Kill not presented. Nothing in his crosshair. Config has to stick if he wants to win this round, so he will. Down the vent comes the last player, and Config is trapped out on an island, getting played with, trying to isolate a fight, but Frozen will just swing back in. That's a ballsy peek, but it gets the round for MOUZ. 4-1 now.
Yeah, that's just such an enviable position for Config to be in. 10 seconds left, as you're saying, like that kind of decision where he's going, he's checking decon, he's seeing if anyone's fast rotated down the vent. He would have actually loved to fight a little bit earlier there in that 1v2. Instead, you got to imagine it. He's flying blind in that instance. He doesn't know where either player is. For all he knows, when he taps that bomb, the double doors are going to swing, the peek from decon's coming through. I think MOUZ do a very good job of kind of playing that as safe as they can within the 2v1, because Config is very much, not the player that you can give those little edges to in moments like that. So a good usage of kind of cooling off, applying the brakes a little bit and having him just stew in the lack of info that he had in that moment.
Yeah, and even though, I'm sure he's having a great day in the office, and it's CT side nuke, which is an AWPer's dream. Torshi again puts on another masterclass, 3 kills in that round, somehow gets out with a USP frag, and yeah, that's just a great sign for the future of this player who's been under a lot of criticism, and rightly so, you could say. Even Cyclone in that interview I mentioned talked about, yeah, there were talks of Torshi on the chopping block. We were looking at every option to try and be world beaters. So I've got my eyes on this guy. 4-1, and NiP with another buy round, going to go for a quick A.
Yeah, in they go. Torshi is here with that AWP, but NiP have already bypassed it, made it down the vent. They lose head trick in the process, in the madness of this vent rush. Hampers falls as well, so this was looking like it could have been something, but it's very, very swiftly kind of falling apart here for NiP. Config, similar spot to last time, stuck at the back of the site, will win that first one. How much further can he expect to take this? A second out of Config before he's dealt with by that AWP. Rez was a little ways out. He comes in late through outside, and he's going to look to try and win this one a little later. He hears the vent, but he can't win it. And so Frozen very tidily puts that round away to close.
That's awkward for NiP, just getting shredded on the top. The only first 2 spawns made it down B, and even though Config manages to squeeze blood out of a stone, it's not enough in what was a 2-on-5 post plant. So MOUZ get another retake, and Frozen, man, he is still looking rock solid himself. 11-1 on this CT side. NiP not finding a consistent way into this T half. It hasn't helped that the walls of smoke outside haven't really been utilized other than one rush for Hampers where he got smoke spammed. So I imagine they're going to be going back to that in these next couple of rounds and try and play a, an outside round and cut Torshi out of the picture.
But you've got to say, man, like you are seeing... Oh, hello. Well, run boost across outside. Yeah, you are seeing how much freedom he's got on this AWP, right? Think about it, for NiP, it kind of feels like wherever they go, they're running into this CT AWP, right? They try that fast vent drop. Where is he? Oh, he's main. Then he's ramp fighting us from there in the post plant. So it's kind of like finding a hay in a needle stack right now for NiP, man. Like, it's a very, very rough job that they're tasked with. They are going to look for one of these outside rounds by the looks of things, and they've got all the util to do it. Couple of smokes dropped back over towards spawn. But it slows down. They up and leave. They've got Hampus behind main, so kind of all the makings of like a bit of an A split here with him coming in a little later. He can look to try and flex this control in other ways, such as denying rotates down towards B, denying any players scouting over towards outside, and maybe look to wrap over at Hell later on. He can just kind of situationally decide what he wants to do with this position. The rest of NiP attempt to get into ramp, but Torshi is in their way right now.
Molly's awkward. He's got to move. He's just burning in it. Torshi down to 5 from 100, and this is all a fake. NiP just wanted to take ramp to go back for that main split. They need Hampers in position right now. Sui gets one from the door. Torshi's back in position, and Headtrick now needs help from his captain or to abandon him and drop down the vent. He is all that remains. 20 seconds. NiP, they put their hands in that needle stack and come out with bloody fingers.
If he gets this kill onto Torshi, there's a world where the plant's available.
Oh, what a check.
All right. He's ready for the top hut creep up, is Torshi.
Why?
That was clean.
Why is he ready for that?
And after burning 95 damage in the molly as well. A very wild round from Torshi. And MOUZ just continue building upon this lead right now. The only round that NiP have, if you remember, is that pistol rush in towards ramp, where they were able to get past Yimpat.
Yeah, and again, Yimpat, he kind of jumps the gun there. He's in a great position. He's got the AWP baiting for him. It gets smoked off after one kill, but Yimpat just swings out wide and tries to spray them down instead of just trying to let them cross down into ramp. He has a powerful position to stop that, but it's not the end of the world. MOUZ are doing it with or without him, 6-1, and NiP will finally send a squad behind the smokes. Xertion's been starting B in a lot of rounds and seen nothing, and he will see nothing here either. Dead as a doorknob. 5-on-4, NiP have a shot.
Yeah, Yimpat's going to need a multi-kill here. Only one from him on the close position. It's the pistols again that stand to do it for NiP. Frozen is the man left to get past inside of the site, and he can look to stop this plant. Oh, he's creeping in. Ice in his veins. Frozen right behind them. He's bypassed Config here. Oh, God, it's a little ugly, but he will win that first one. Why not make it a double? Frozen has recovered this. Hampus still with the trade, and it's left onto Torshi in the 1v2.
I believe.
Up in his hands. He's looking for this kill. He's looking for this trade onto Hampus. The big question mark right now is Rez, who was on some wild pathing in this round. Torshi doesn't have the info on that second man, so he tries his hand at the stick, but NiP are not going to let him have it. And so once again, it's these pistols. It's when they're a little faster, a little looser, like they've got nothing to lose, the NiP come up with the goods.
Yeah, you can't blame him for that attempt there, right? Clears the double doors, clears the stairs, sees nothing, thinks, at this point I can at least get 3 seconds on that stick before someone's swinging me, but then NiP have players from opposite sides on a crossfire, so they do convert another eco round or another half-buy round for NiP, where they only come in with Tech 9 and armor. Those are the only rounds NiP have won in this T side, but hey, they've worked, haven't they? MOUZ now starting to reach the bottom of the barrel. That green gunk starting to run out. They're going to have an AWP and maybe a couple of rifles if they drop some over. It's not going to be a pretty buy, but they've got to make the most of it.
I'm hearing a lot of yelling, and I'm assuming it's not from our guys because they were in a pause. So, yeah, over on the B stream,
big on Apex.
Yeah, that big Apex matchup that everyone's talking about, and with good reason. Right now, Apex up in the lead. Big are trying their best to close that distance.
Apex definitely one of the more exciting teams here in the play-in as well after their run back at Paris and having minimal players lost in that transfer window.
Minimal players lost. That's ideal,
that's
right?
A win. That's a win.
Not
Gamer
quite
Legion,
as good as none, but
yeah, Gamer Legion can't say the same. Nice start for Torshi, looking for another opening kill inside the hut. He has a teammate by his side. Zershun doesn't need to be the guy activating here. They can just wait for NiP to cross ramp. It's two very passive AWPs right now. Although the moves are getting made by MOUZ. They're the ones trying to force this fight. Rez gets spotted.
Seen a foot. Yeah.
You know there's more in store. If Rez is, holding ramp, you've seen him with his back turn, you know he has cover. So they won't jump the gun yet. Minute on the clock. NiP have done nothing yet. But a few more seconds of patience could pay off.
Yeah, I want to know what the plan is with Brolin here. He's trying to make noise, but, his idea of, trying to sell this secret stairs position gets entirely uprooted right now as Torshi has dropped the bomb over in lobby. And look at how it's fallen, man. You couldn't write that. It's right in front of Zershun. They've got it in the hut. And MOUZ are looking to play around this. They're fighting for this bomb control, and they set up Torshi for another. Waiting to come around the corner, see if he can succeed where the rest of his team has failed. Back in the lobby, it's Hampus. He tries to grab the bomb. They see it's missing, and so Torshi tries his hand at the spam. Oh, that's a dangerous game to play versus the AWP. And Zershun runs him down anyway. This is a non-starter of a round for NiP. It's been entirely uprooted after that AWP opened through the hut. And Brolin, he's come up from lower, from the B site to try pave a path back in, but Torshi denies it every step of the way, even the tag to config. It's MOUZ on a low econ round, but that AWP sings.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable round for Torshi. The patience pays dividends inside of Hut. And poor Brolin, who gets secrets so quickly and so easily in that round, finally, for NiP. And he's just forced to come up the vent with 20 seconds left. His position is one of no impact, as NiP don't even have control of the bomb. The first death that goes their way is that package for MOUZ. So, yeah, it's just a round you're trying to bandage instead of actually make any moves. That's really unlucky for NiP. But again, it's at the hands of Torshi, who is hitting bangers all day. 3 kills, leg onto config. What more can you ask from the AWP?
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of factor in that this time around as well, alongside him, you've had Frozen, who's been damn near infallible in some of these moments where he's had to put up some numbers on the back of the side. M4 in hand, or that round where he dropped in through heaven and looked to save the day. It's a pretty scary spot to be in for NiP. Because, you've got the rifle component maxed out for MOUZ, and then you've got Torshi looking lights out on this AWP.
Yeah, and
who's gonna match that energy?
Need someone. We need a hero, without a doubt. Torshi's over the smokes. How did he even see him?
Just on rails for him right now, isn't it?
Oh, he almost got 2. Hampus, that's the second time he's been spammed through the smoke. Can't make it to secret for free.
We've all been there as well in these sorts of matches, man. You don't even really feel like you're doing anything wrong. If you're Hampus there, there was no part in that round where you made some huge glaring error. You walked behind your wall smokes, you got faith in the smokes outside, and then you get naded and spammed through them.
Yeah, it's another round where NiP are in the washing machine. Drowning, spinning, very claustrophobic.
But fun is fun.
Yeah, fun is fun. I did hear that one. Config going to flash them deep into hell. Torshi's gone all the way back into ramp, and they're re-clearing. So MOUZ getting a lot of real estate in this round. Considering lobby's clear, that's actually better than finding a lurker here. You now know exactly where NiP have to be coming from. If they're not down secret, they're climbing up into rafters and doing an A-hit. And that info is about to fall into the palms of MOUZ. Zershun positioned perfectly for this round.
Yeah, Torshi's AWP won't be a factor here, though, so it's going to come down to the rest of MOUZ to try and hold this one together. Well-tamed nade out of Shui. Does a bit of damage, but they don't know about Zershun. Still, he fires off too soon, and now they know they will hunt him down. There's Config late through main to get rid of him. Plant coming in. Torshi having to walk this flank up from ramp. He was down, keeping an eye on B. And this is a really awkward spot to be in with the AWP. You ain't going up that ladder.
Oh, he might, maybe a little. I think he can see it. I think
There's something there. Yeah. All right, Torshi backs it up, and Rez out of the round now. It's just Config and Hedrick. This was looking like NiP might have had something going here, but can Impat and Torshi pick up the pieces? Onto the AK now for Torshi. He's got to do it alone, and they will get locked out. NiP with a much-needed third. They breathe a sigh of relief at the end of that one.
Yeah, we were wondering where the star power is. Config finally shows it here for NiP. A 3-on-5, back the other way with a 3K from Config. That main trade onto Xerxon was so important as, Rez gets that jiggle and spots him right below the bomb site just here. That was the kill that got NiP into the round and gave them a fighting chance. Phew, a sigh of relief. Because again, MOUZ have been on the edge of being economically reset this entire half, and NiP have finally done it. They've put them on pistols, and that can suddenly give you a great leap into the T side. So what will NiP make of this opportunity? Got a bait and switch in the hut, but that 5-7 chews through helmets like it's nothing. Ooh, so does Rez.
Yeah. And now he's even waiting for the reaction. Yeah. This is very nice from Rez. He pieced together that setup. The moment he saw the backside player, he kind of had a very clear idea of what they were looking to do.
And now A just feels free, right? Yeah. You've got everyone lobby. You know you can just trade out. Sure, there might be a hut roof player, but we've killed 2 pistols close. This is NiP's round.
All right, they're starting to level out here, Hugo. They're starting to find a way back into this one. It might have been this really hot start for MOUZ. Even, kind of, as you pointed out, right, denying these resets, these moments where everything was put into the round and then they were able to win it, so they've kept the buys coming through. That now draws to a close, and this is NiP's way back in.
Yeah, and at least MOUZ came in with an idea with a play. The last time they were, down to the bare bones money and they had an AWP and a couple of rifles was the round Torshi and Xerxon set up in hut, and they do that, bait and switch again, and Torshi comes out with 3 kills. So MOUZ try something similar. They put the pistols together, but Rez, very nice shooting inside a hut, does clean that out. And we said coming into this game, it's not just a question of brains with in-game leaders re-entering teams, but also brawn, because where are these stars, these young stars? Who is going to perform for NiP? That's always been the question. You feel like you have so much firepower on this team, but they rarely show up at the same time. That being said, back in Copenhagen last week, we had some phenomenal games from players like Brolin and Rez. Brolin especially showing fantastic form. And in that tournament, they even took down Vitality, reigning major champs, albeit with a roster change. So, yeah, there was a very good sign there from NiP. It's why we're holding them to a decent standard here in the play-in. And I think they might be able to reach that now. Their T side starting to warm up, and another anti-eco to feast on.
Lobby aggro in this one for MOUZ. They're walking it with 3, and Rez, he was the guy meant to be kind of keeping an eye on the lobby, but as he transitioned down the ladder, that's when Frozen moved in on this Famous, and he's looking to steal the round all on his lonesome. Gets out. 19 points of health, but it's staying alive here that's really important. This becomes a bit of a numbers game now. And Frozen just backing out with 3 from his lobby push. Chewy's about to get this info on the A play. He should go uncleared here.
I like how he's waiting for his team. If he makes a play, he's just going to die,
How's
right?
the Impact going to get up the vent?
That gets caught. Head trick crossed all the way along. And yeah, I don't know how MOUZ win this round, even with Frozen's heroics. He needs to hit an insta-banger. The flash is good, though, and he will find a 4th. Frozen on the ace as MOUZ steal away an eco round. How's he done that?
Oh, damn, Frozen! A one-man army. The Famous and the armor was about as exciting as that round got for MOUZ. And he makes it look like it was the best buy they could have had.
He's 20-3. We were hyping up Torshi for good reason this game. Frozen is stealing the show right now. Like we said, NiP, they've been waiting all game to break the money. They finally do, and they get eco'd. Everything that can go right is for MOUZ.
That is crazy. And like the perfect flash thrown out from the vents as well. Like, Impact very much sets Frozen up to get that ace. Like, Frozen is one shot from death. He needs every advantage he can get his hands on. And that's when the Impact says, don't worry, man. I've got the God Flash. You just have full faith. You peek on the back of this, and we'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
Without that flash, surely NiP round, right? Surely no more for Frozen.
There's someone watching Heaven, just deady on the angle, right? You're not winning that fight. You are one shot from death.
Damn. 8-4.
Unbelievable way to find your 8th and deny, you know, this kind of streak that NiP were embarking upon.
Yeah, they're looking for scraps right now at the end of the half. All about for Headtrick. Haven't sung his praises yet. We need to see something from the guy. Looking for a pick in the door, but that molly goes right through. Vent fake. But I don't think it's even popped. MOUZ are not panicking. Impact's already starting lower as well. We've got Torshi back to AWPing ramp, making a read on and off angle as well. So you'd like to think he can get out with one. They're going to do, no, not the boost, they just dry swing it. Torshi misses his shot. They're going to start streaming out. Good flash. Torshi hanging around, makes his mind up. Will drop down to B as NiP take the ramp room.
Yeah, but they're not looking to drop with him. Instead, they're going to try and wrap over here towards Hell. Looks like they want to try and get a bit of an A-split going from Hell, from Heaven, and use that to supplement this push in through lobby. But look who's ready for it. Look who's trying to play this angle back towards the spawn. It's Frozen. Only one, but he gets away with a lot of damage. Onto Rez, 99. Here's the backstab for Xerxes. That's the bomb away from NiP. Nice. That is an important trade for Headtrick to have picked up. Because of that, now they have the freedom to grab this bomb and play out the 3v2. Everyone is looking real worse for wear on NiP, apart from Headtrick. So he might have to be the man to deliver this round. If MOUZ don't get gifted a kill, they might never even attempt this. And it's one of these rounds, you go, we're going to stand here and we're going to go, oh, if only they knew. If only they knew how low they were.
You know, I think there's some realization, like Frozen rather spamming into Hell did 99 damage to Rez. Like, I'm sure he saw that he did a lot of damage there, but Rez just has such a powerful post-plant position, being up in the rafters, that, you know, MOUZ realize what they're walking into there, and they will look to save. They're going to do damage, though, because these players have to exit T-spawn. At least one of them. Hampus will have to. He's going to run right into this AK. The impact does go down, but Torshi looks to trade, and he will remove that AWP from NiP's real estate, so it's a costly round for NiP. They can rebuy the AWP at least, but nothing comes for free right now, not in this T side.
It's so weird when, like, it's such a lopsided scoreboard for MOUZ, man. It's so top heavy on this. Yeah, it is a two-man army. 21 kills for Frozen, 16 for Torshi. And that moment there, oh, that's one that hurts you.
Double up for Frozen, very different round there. 1 health the difference. And yes, Headtrick showing us what we needed here for NiP, who chooses not to get the AWP back. Going for flat rifles, NiP gonna speed it up outside instead. Torshi going through the vent smoke, has a little gap. This is a shot he can hit, and he will take it. Rez trying to lurk outdoor, and Torshi evaporates through the mist.
Yeah, cool response to this, you know, little opening smoke that gets lobbed in. You saw what Rez was trying to do. He's hoping he can, like, find those little gaps over the top to look for peaks at top hut, try and challenge for that A opener. That was meant to be his chance to open up the round, but now instead, look at what's happened. MOUZ have got lobby, and the round has barely started, and they already know that it can't be lobby to end. This frees them up massively to just start making moves all around the map.
Yes. Double lower as well is great, and Xerxes not trying to fight outside. He just wants to know, okay, is this going secret, or are they going to cross it, you know, round the world and try and go for an A split? So he'll get that info. He'll be able to molly off main, delay this entire round, and give time for a rotate to come back up from B. They're triple stack lower right now. That's the only danger for MOUZ as NiP go round to Hell. And so Sui will come back up from ramp. But at this point, they're already Heaven. So NiP, despite the positions being known about, are actually not in that bad of a spot here. 30 seconds. Sui can't stop it. He's going to have to play retake or timing late. And NiP have that Heaven trying to split this top site.
Ooh. No noise made either. So it's not like Sui can calm this across to anyone. Util starting to come out. They even spotted Xerxes there in the backside box, but they need to deal with him. Config misses. Oh, hello! He comes up the ladder, and there's Xerxes swinging out. Finally meets them in that fight that they were looking for. That's a wild way for MOUZ to move on to 9, isn't it? Hampus just lost to the hands of time. He was trying to wrap back in through lobby. He was going to come in a little bit later once that Heaven split had come through. And the last thing you're expecting when you own Heaven like that, when you're actively fighting from Heaven, is some mad lad to dash up the ladder with an MP9. But that's exactly what Shui does, and it just blindsides them.
I mean, he's always been such an aggressive player. We saw that as well in the Academy League. That's crazy.
They all have their back turn.
They're all looking at it. He has the gun for the job. Xerxan getting spotted only helps Sui out on that flank. That's a beautiful play from the captain. And NiP just get turned into sawdust. MOUZ looking for 10 rounds at the end of the half, and dare I say, it should be right there for the taking. This has just been a great half of Counter-Strike for MOUZ. Even that round, you know, displays the awareness of the rotates they have to make, right? Knowing, okay, we can play this heavy lower. They might already be down secret. The second they realize that NiP are going round to CT spawn, they make the necessary adjustments. They take lobby back again, and they have a flank for Sui to close it. So 9-5 and a final ditch buy for NiP.
Yeah, it's got its limitations, but a little topside rush. They're going to try and put these Tech 9s in at the front. Config opens. It's actually been on these low econ rounds that NiP have found a lot of success in this map so far, and this one's no exception to that rule. Config doubles up on the entry. And he's secured all the space. There's Hampus a little bit later getting activated on this outside lurk, and then he immediately dissipates. He just up and leaves. He is gone. And so if you hang around looking for this kill outside, you're not going to find Hampus here. Config has taken up the position, but Torshi's not aware of this. Config's got the footsteps. He's got every advantage in this fight, and so this one dead to rights. Torshi gone from the round. Just Yimpat left. It's looking like NiP are going to move on to a 6th, unless the young gun can deliver for MOUZ. Tap on the bomb, and Hampus denies it on that late lobby lurk. This first half ends up 9-6 in MOUZ's favor.
What is your calling?
Well, the Cathedral might be cooling, and right now it's this duo, this frothy duo, rather saucy duo that's really rising to the occasion and picking up those calls for the Cathedral. For MOUZ, topping the charts there. Frozen, top of the board, and right behind him, you had Torch on the AWP. For NiP, they didn't find their way in till a little bit later. A couple of low econ rounds going their way, but it felt like all those swing moments where they really could have exerted a bit of control over that first half, all those real swing rounds went the way of MOUZ.
And they still come out with 6, so it's not the end of the world for NiP here on their map. They've got to deal with a fast one though. Brolin on the dually, spamming away, spraying and praying, and finds 3. Bomb comes falling to his feet, and Headtrick is here to sweep the rest of MOUZ under the rug. It's just Yimpat, new boy on the block, young gun, and gone to the other. Headtrick hits 2, and NiP find their way to 7. A bit of a red carpet to walk back into control of their map pick. Keep in mind, folks, this is a hyper-important BO3, giving a berth into the group stage for IEM Cologne to face some of the top teams, some of the best rosters in the world, waiting. Who will join them?
Oh, and I don't know, man. There's something, you know, I've missed talking over a lovely little dualies play, man. The way that they get used here. No, you nailed it, dude. The way that they look in the top levels of Counter-Strike. Ooh, it's just there's something so enticing about them.
You know, there's ZywOo, and then there's every other dually player, I think.
I know, you know, Brown did a pretty damn serviceable job just
Double
then.
his kills, always nice. Gonna clean this one up as swiftly as MOUZ did on their anti-eco. Just glocks at a P250 that does tap out. 2 dinks onto Hampus. Frozen. Any more? 24 and 6.
Winning around from nowhere with the Famous, that's one thing, you know.
Yeah.
Winning it with the P250 when you're this low from top silo, that's top main, that's another. And he will just get flicked on. Rez deals with him. One more kill before all is said and done.
Great round.
A little bit of damage found for MOUZ. They're pretty content with that, honestly, considering they didn't really bring anything in with them other than that P250.
Yeah, NiP cycle the guns. They keep all 3 M4s, so it's, you know, they minimize the losses, but 2 kills is a great round for MOUZ. 9-8 now, and they have a pretty formidable first buy round with a lot of Molotovs as well. So I wonder if we'll see some sort of execute here on this top site. 4 rifles for NiP. Wall outside in the first gun round. Or maybe later, so he leaves the smokes in spawn.
No.
They're just getting everything.
Still getting organised here.
Make sure you cross the T's, dot the I's. And in comes the wall. MOUZ will be able to cross down into secret into the opposing captain.
Oh, Hampus tries taking that swing early.
Through the molly as well. He's trying to like beat the timing, catch them before it blooms, but Frozen is in the most punishing position for that kind of move.
And now, like, you know, you've got Headtrick trying to watch outside from spawn, but he's smoked off, so he doesn't have the info as to whether or not, you know, anyone's crossed down with that. Also, the info that Hampus gets in that death is, oh, 1 silo. Like, that could mean anything with those outside smokes going down. So,
I see him.
NiP have lost a man.
Hang on. And now Config knows that they know. He's got some help.
Bit of divine intervention there for Config. Frozen out of the round, starts to take even more space, pushing on the back of this contact. He gets out with a dink, but it will be Yimpat to win it. In the meantime, these guys that crossed down secret earlier are now in B. And so they're going to come up with the plant here at MOUZ. On numbers alone, NiP are in a bit of a weird place here. A 3v4 retake down at lower when they're a little out of position as well. So these rotates take time to come through.
Living is crucial for Yimpat, and he will do more than that. All he had to do was stay alive to basically guarantee that NiP couldn't go for it. But he catches Rez, who reads his lurk outside. And even after Config's dink that you felt like would have put him out of commission, MOUZ will keep this round very clean indeed. 4 alive, and they don't need to hunt by any means. They know NiP can save 2 guns. That's fine by them. They ensure the round comes through. you know, I think even though we're seeing good signs, I think actually in the Mongols game we saw some really good rounds from Yimpat, some great sprays. He's clearly got some crisp aim. We're seeing some moments of inexperience, some nerves definitely, that missed Molotov, a couple of the ramp rounds. But I think there's almost no better team for a young 16-year-old player to come up on than one that's been there themselves, played through the Academy League, very young roster in its inception anyway, under a captain who knows what that's like. So I think he's in a great position to build into the future, as we have, some people like Frozen, who we call the young veteran, been on MOUZ for over 4 years. Joined when he was only 16 himself. So it's a perfect roster for someone like Yimpat to come up through.
Yeah, because, that is like one of the things you have to contest with. Everyone is just kind of different people with different experiences, but at least here it's a group of folks who can very much relate to how you feel. Brolin dead first, and it's Yimpat the man to do it again. Opens up this round. They've got the room over at ramp now. Xerxin also runs it dry outside. And there was 2 garage players for NiP. They heard him at least, so that's something. And Config will go hunting, knocking him out of the round, arming himself with an AK. Do you give Config a full auto weapon here and a reason to be a little interested? Nah, he's walking away.
Yeah, he's checking the flank. I mean, no one else is in position, so it's just going to be the save here for NiP. And MOUZ managed to do it despite Xerxin being 4-14. He's having a bit of a stinker right now, but it's been great because we've had that 2-man army you were talking about in the first half. And it's not a bad idea for NiP to save just because of their positions. They upgrade a gun from a FAMAS to an AK, and they start to hold on to their economy here in the second half. By no means a guaranteed game here for MOUZ, but NiP need to wake up ASAP. They'll come in with a timeout. Their final timeout for the NiP side.
I like the timeout, right? It's a chance to really put some thought into this round because, they shouldn't be investing around these saved guns, but they do have a lot of saved guns at the end of that, right? They get out with the AK, they got 2 M4s in tow, so actually you have a very good chance, you have a lot of stopping power in this moment. So this round is kind of your first attempt at turning this game around, and then you have a second one coming down the pipeline in the next. But you really want to try and maximize the damage with a save like this.
One of the duos I am enjoying seeing back on our screens again is DJL and Hampus, right? Coach and captain of NiP. Often came through, towards the end of COVID era with some really great ideas on T-sides especially. Had a cool look to the game. Created some very interesting smokes that we saw on maps like Mirage. So I'm excited to see that duo back again. Let's see what they can cook up here for round 20. As MOUZ go back to a default. No AWP on this T side yet. Hampus looks for a head. And Torsion might just give it to him, but that AK far more superior.
Oh, the same wall going in outside. And a similar fight for Hampus to how he felt last time this outside smoke wall came in, right? It's that later silo peak.
No way!
His hand at the spam, but dude, I mean, it's not been a lucky day for Hampus on these smoke spams.
And that's the A1S, there's no traces, there's no info, you can barely hear that across the map. You just know someone's shooting through the smoke and they nail him. Dear oh dear, that is unfortunate. And a 5-on-4 for MOUZ, one of the 3 guns gone. And they change the mood as well. They go from the wall to a main smoke and they start wrapping round to hell, picking up another rifle, and just cutting this round down bit by bit.
Oh yeah, there's the smoke walk in through main for that backstab, and that's the A site cracked wide open. They've got all the space, they've got the round. Config just on damage duty at this point with the AK. Does have a fight waiting for him back in the lobby, should he choose to accept it. But just going to get locked out. The Impact's really come alive in these last couple of rounds on the lobby lurks, man. He looks very, very comfortable here.
Had a great T-side, no doubt. And, as we kind of mentioned the first half, in one of the most difficult positions on CT side of Nuke in the, It's very punishing. You're rarely going to get away with those big 3-4K spray downs. And actually, NiP had some really good ways to cancel him out with the smoke and flash combos on ramp, and smoking off Torshi at hell almost every time they went there. So he's looking a lot more alive on this T side, no doubt. Another run boost, Xerxan going quick.
They're hoping that would offset any sort of timings for these players close up. He sees that there's no one over on the red box.
Not again.
Hampus,
not
buddy.
again. If you see Hampus in the kill feed, it's often prefaced by the smoke icon.
Smoke King Hampus. Dead now, of course. And MOUZ just kind of ease into this 5v4 again. They've been so willing to meet Hampus out in the yard. Config, this is a nice response to this problem. He's kind of put it back into even odds and he's contained them over in secret. For now, they can't be pressuring B too heavily. The quick switch from Torshi. But it's still the one and done.
Someone get him a keyboard. Press the wrong one there. 3-on-3. Brolin waiting for this ramp hit. He's just moving out of position.
The timing on this for Brolin.
Into safety, though. He can pick and choose now. He's not rotating.
Ooh, Shui's completely leaving. He's fully left secret and walked it back outside. Did Hedrick see that? Because he's holding like the little pixel gap over at red, but with the M4 and at range as well.
Brolin's reposition is huge, though. He's gone back into A, and that's exactly where MOUZ look like they want to be heading up. Unless they're going to walk out ramp late, it's just a full group to trade out here. So Brolin can win this round right now. He's had a quiet map. This could be his chance.
Yeah, really good spot to be in. Up top of the hut. Goes uncleared, goes unchecked.
Ooh.
First kill found. It's frozen with the trade. Shui's now going to get this bomb planted, that molly in heaven. Well, at least give them that safety net to get the bomb down, but they're both fighting this from inside of the site. They swing onto the main player. Rez, good for the first, but that's the end of the line for him. And now it's all on Hedrick. Shui with the reposition. Out of the danger zone now. Backed up into the hut. Hedrick is going to be hard pressed for this. He's got to get into the site. He's got to tap this bomb, apply a bit of pressure, making noise. And there's Shui with the swing to seal the deal on the round. The captain carries MOUZ through 2-13. And dude, he went on like a real journey across that round, did Shui. I think it all started for him over at secret, then back into lobby, out through the hut, finishes it up with that nice reposition after fighting Rez in main. And he made that clutch very easy for himself in the 1v1.
Yeah, I love what MOUZ do in the post plant there. While that Heaven Molly is still alive, they actually make the flash play to fight main, because NiP would rather just 2-on-2 them together with the Heaven and main player at the same time. But Rez doesn't get to pick the timing there, and his teammate in Heaven can't trade because he's mollied out. So MOUZ go ahead of that fading util. And we know Shui can frag. If you didn't know that from the academy days, you certainly saw it at the major. He had some top-performing games, even as in-game leader, back on Gamer Legion. So great round for him to come alive and put NiP back on pistols. Looking for 14 here on their opponent's map pick as well. Torshi's now got an AWP, scope deep out garage, and that's provided a safety net for Xerxan to run.
Oh, Hampus is in a good spot. He's got it. He's got one. Oh, yes. He's got one. Just barely, but he does get it. And that's the important part. Xerxan now dead. They're going to flash him off the angle. So the end of the line for Hampus. Just the one and done. Frozen teed up by Torshi. That tag team back at it again. Brolin repositions and Hedrick aggroes into the lobby. Right now, there's a couple of fights that could present themselves to NiP, but they need to win them. Hedrick's caught. The lobby belongs to Impact. Brolin, the timing on that, man. Just goes up the ladder, caught by the outside rapper Config.
They saw him.
He didn't like that.
And Impact again, another important kill in the 3-on-3 in the lobby. He's looked very comfortable on this T side. So Config's just trying to find a gun. There is one by main. But Torshi's right above him, although he doesn't know. Does he have CL left hand? Doesn't look like it. He didn't see Config right below him, and that is where Config will remain. Might even get away with this save. Such an unorthodox position.
Yeah. You can kind of see the issue that NiP are having, though, right? There's so much success for MOUZ outside. Like, Hampus has been struggling here, and... well, save denied. Turns out Torshi will check for it.
Yeah, Frozen's at 30 now as well.
But yeah, you know, like this outside control is a big problem right now for NiP, and it's easier said than done to try and stem the bleeding here, right? Hampus in a lot of these rounds, as we've kind of pointed out, been on the receiving end of these smoke spams, had like these, even in the dry walk rounds, there's protocols in place to not let him get away with too much. And you know, you can't, it's not as simple as just shifting more resources and more men over towards outside, because then that's going to weaken you elsewhere, and that's always what NiP are going to be a little bit paranoid about in these moments, because MOUZ, it's not been like they've been going outside, dropping straight down secret, playing for B. They get this control, they look for the opener, and then they slow it right down, and they kind of give you no idea where the play's looking to end up next.
Yeah, I mean, if this game ends in the next 2 rounds, you hope NiP can just kind of brush it off. Just unlucky, I guess, for Hampus in this half. And both really. Oh, that's awkward. It hits Frozen. So the audible is made, and Hampus will hear that from CT vents.
He even watched it, like dragging along the ground. He knew it was going to hit him, but there was just nothing he could do.
Lurkout ramp denied, but it is a B round after all. And Frozen gives them the option to bail. If they kill Brolin, NiP might panic. They've cleared lobby completely. Brolin needs a kill here. He can't get away with nothing. That will give so much room to MOUZ. He's going to nade off the door, move back into another stairwell, and Frozen looks for upper picks that won't appear. They won't present themselves. The rest of NiP are grouping back for a retake on ramp side. And MOUZ want to come up the vent. This is a good move. Konfic's the only guy who can stop this.
But now that they've seen him in heaven, I think this starts to become a lot more obvious to NiP. And Konfic had to win that. He had to win that fight. Frozen falling from the heavens. Hailstorm over on A. And the rest of NiP are just lost to this B site. Down here with Zershan. Why is he still here, man? He's ready to like shut them down as they look to save.
I love that round for MOUZ. They've had some really good calls in this game.
And, you know, so much of this, once again, is like coming down that they get the space outside. When you get that much room, when you get Frozen over towards Hell, they know that there's so many options, so many plays can be made when they've got these positions that they just kind of, you know, you look at what they're doing in it, they're kind of awkwardly pushing and pulling them around the map on the terms of MOUZ right now.
And even Yimpat's death there on ramp as he tries to walk out after NiP know MOUZ have secret. That only like sells your fake further, to be honest, because it just looks like, yeah, they're going 4 secret and then 1 for the ramp lurk to, you know, backstab us when we try and set up for retake, which is what NiP were doing. But MOUZ just go up the vent because they have Frozen up in the heavens. Seeing some great T sides right now for MOUZ. A lot to like in this BO3. And Inferno up next. Even more in store to qualify or proceed to the group stage. Final ditch attempt here for NiP up against map point. Headtrick's got an AWP, but he's not even broached double digits. The AWP on the other side was the star of the show in the first half, and they will battle for this potential final round. And it's, of course, Torshi. Ooh, for 2, but Konfic comes through, and he's had a great game himself. Captain steps up. It's really been the Konfic show for NiP. The only way they can break in. Can he save them yet again?
You know, I said that remedying outside isn't just a case of putting more players here, but actually that seems to have been the perfect way to solve this for NiP. They found Headtrick on the opener, and then there was just this really well-timed double swing out from main. Hampus getting involved as well, having a bit of a say in how the outside rounds pan out. It's just Frozen, but you know, I say just Frozen. 32-9. Let's see.
Check this.
I never write him off in moments like this. They've spotted him now. They've got the info. NiP. They want to try and fight this, but this is going to send 2 players his way. They just run round spraying and praying, and Frozen will fall at the hands of the NiP hunt.
Well, again, it's the case of NiP that's been going on for the past couple of years, and that, yeah, man, you got a guy who looks incredible, you know, unbeatable in config, but then where are the other stars? Rez is positive. He's had a decent game. He comes up with a couple there, but again, I feel like you never have that triple threat all alive at the same time. Brolin 8 and 18, having a roughie. And right now, MOUZ with 6 opportunities to finish what they started. Go back outside. Hampus, nice spawn taken. They have no idea he's made it into secret. But now he has to be really patient, just tuck here, unless he's got flashes from teammates to set up a swing. He might not even play into this. It doesn't look like this is going to be a B round for MOUZ. Although they go back to T-spawn to line up a wall. So anything's possible. Hampus licking his lips at the prospect.
Yeah, the outside smoke wall's gone out again.
Here we go.
This time they're going to try and supplement it with a little flash for Hampus.
Oh, too early.
Oh.
Not a very good flash, to be honest.
Well, you know, Hampus, he will have to fight this one dry, as it turns out. He wins the first. He wins the second. Rez is only holding him back.
Whoa.
There's 2 out of Hampus, and the bomb now away from MOUZ. Impact with 1, but that should be the end of the line here. NiP onto double digits as finally they start to come out ahead in some of these outside rounds. Yeah, make it easy for Hampus, did they? The rest of it, really. But hey, he still does what he has to there in that moment.
Can you flash me soon? Yep, flash. No, oh, I meant soon. Oh.
Still, I mean, the thing that's funnier to me is
it was perfect.
Like even if you know. Even if that flash was, you know, when he wanted it, it would have destroyed him. It wrecked him. Well, he would have turned from it, right?
He knew he couldn't go, right? I didn't. You know, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Not the best.
My mouse double click. That's the excuse right there.
Not the best setup, but hey, someone was blind. And Impact stares into the sun on roof as NiP find double digits. It's 2 in a row. It's a late recovery, perhaps, and it's even forced the final timeout for MOUZ to have a chat. So, final move for the coaches here, both sides, coming in round number 26. And let's see this depth of the T side for MOUZ. We've seen a couple of cool ideas. We've not really had any ramp abuse on this T half, though.
Yeah, they haven't really gone there at all. And I think that's actually been one of the cooler things about it is, you know, you have Brolin, who, as you pointed out earlier on, you know, we have a couple of key players quiet, and Brolin is one of them. But in this second half, he's been ramp. What do his rounds look like? Oh, I'm kind of waiting at ramp, and now I'm filling in gaps from, you know, in the mid-round, and I'm like saving. Up and leaving. Oh, I'm saving. So, yeah, he hasn't really had, like, a lot of chances to be super involved. And I think the fact that he is, you know, bottom of the board right now for NiP, hasn't really had that time to build his read on like what's happening over towards lobby through seeing it himself. You're not really getting any of this like lobby aggro out of the ramp fight, right? We haven't seen rounds like MOUZ attempted where they had, you know, that AWP aggressing through ramp alongside the Impact on the push. It's forced him to be pretty stagnant over on that side of the map.
It's very heavy upper here in this round. NiP expecting something, starting 4 strong, and Brolin on the ramp side alone. Or she's looking for a pick through door, and he's got to wait a smoke before he gets it. Make that 2. And so, as MOUZ again default, they throw that outside smokes. It's been really every round we've been seeing a variety of walls.
And it feels like they're trying to get ahead of NiP's adaptation, which is to fight heavy outside, right? That's what's happened the last few times they've thrown these smokes out, has just been a swarm of NiP players descending upon you. So they know they're going to get the reaction. They know they're going to get NiP shuffling resources outside, and they try to use that to explode out over here on ramp. They've got the kill that opens up the ramp play, but now they've got to get into B, and that's an entirely different beast. Rez could have the round in the palm of his hand right here.
They're not rushing the plant, though, so he's not going to get the free kill on the Astralis side. They back up. They have no idea Rez is right round the corner, and they will look over it entirely. He's got the round in the palm of his hand, and he clamps down and crushes Frozen. It's only Sui, the captain again, looking for a clutch up, a 1v3. He starts strong. Knows one towards the ramp, but the second, uncertain. Sui tries to sneak away, slink back to the door. Another shot presents itself. Sui can't close, can't win that round, and NiP stay above water for now. 11 here on this CT side. They are just holding on by the skin of their teeth, Harry.
Damn, you know, for Sui there, those are like those moments and those clutches. When you're 1v3, you see it, you can see how it happens. You know, you could see that that had the potential to come together. It's going to feel like it was closer than it was, though. NiP starting to close this gap in a very meaningful way, right? In the beginning, it was like, yeah, just make this a little more, a little prettier to look at, a little easier on the eyes. Now, they're starting to believe that this is a real possibility here.
Yeah, these are the rounds, though, that MOUZ just don't care about, right? They can just throw away, so you can play a little looser. Quick A-pop. We need multi-kills. Config will provide 2 for him. Impact does get an entry, but that's all this round will be as MOUZ are swept under the rug. And NiP look good again. Seeing some energy injected into NiP, right? Even in the previous couple of outside rounds. You know, Config fighting very aggressively, Rez and Co getting flashed through the smoke, and in that previous round, very quick on those secret rotations. So some life in NiP here, and maybe a chance for overtime. We've seen a fair few OTs in the BO1s today. Anything's possible.
And this like config res heroic duo on the other side is really, you know, making strides right now to close this distance, to match up to what we were getting out of Frozen and Torshi. Torshi slowed down a good deal in this second half. Frozen has been keeping up appearances, but now he's actually got opponents to go up against who are kind of operating on that same level, right?
They made it down, and silent as well, even though NiP will send a player into lower. MOUZ have decent control in this round, and the pressure is on Sui to cook up something nice. Zertian still having a struggle, 5 and 21, but it can at least be a lamb to the slaughter. Sui needs to trade config at worst case, but that entry is clean as hell. Bottom to top, MOUZ take the man advantage.
Yeah, you have 5 kills, you're feeling down and out on yourself, but you just got that one onto config, the guy who has been putting a stop to so many of these rounds. That could be the case of someone who has been struggling so much in this map, delivering the saving grace for MOUZ right when they needed it. A 5v3. And no info for NiP, right? They're still split between upper and lower, trying to piece together where this one's ending up. Hampus will get that info, but at what cost? Brolin wins that fight down at lower. They spot the bomb moving into upper. NiP have got the info, but they don't have the manpower here. It's a 2v5 to see if they can keep this comeback coming in.
Ooh, it's a good nade, but it's not going to stop the plant, is it? And with that coming down, NiP are realizing it's starting to look obvious now. The first map in MOUZ's palm. Brolin moving through the hut. Head trick up in heaven. Waiting with the AWP, and Brolin needs something magical here. They've got good crossfires, but they're not looking his way. Brolin tries to take 2, but instead it's won by MOUZ. The first map in their back pocket, their opponent's choice as well. And Inferno waiting for map 2. Overall, good signs for MOUZ. Torshi looking solid on the AWP. Frozen showing what he's got. And even Yimp on that T side coming in with some crucial entry rounds as well.